Hi, I'm LaTasha Colander Clark, OLY, an Olympic gold medalist, and I'm here to talk to you about my life. It has been such a blessing to be not only an athlete, but most of all, a child of God. I have had so many different experiences with just being a child of God and just knowing that God has always been in my life, has always made a way. And even now today, you know, as I'm looking at my life as an Olympian and looking at the different things as far as just being an athlete, I think that a lot of things are still spilling over that are really good characteristics of, you know, being an athlete. And that is, you know, being in shape and having a community around you that still wants to live a healthy life, you know, having people around you that want to live, you know, a good life, an abundant life. And, you know, just knowing that those things that were instilled in me as a little girl, even today, I am so elated and so happy to know that what God started, He will complete. And that is confidence. That's confidence in knowing that, you know, my faith, sports, and wherever I go, you know, even if it's in the entertainment world, as far as with sports and, you know, production and what the studio is doing now, Christ Studios, it's a beautiful thing to know that God is everywhere. He's in sports, He's in entertainment, He's in people in all facets and in everything that they do. And He has been in my life as well. And so I want to inspire someone today with my life story that God can make a way, and He will make sure that whatever He started in your life, He's gonna finish it. You just have to allow Him to do that, you know? And so it's so inspiring to just kind of see, you know, my life just kind of trickling through a timeline and being able to see how, you know, how God just simply started me on a track. You know, sometimes we're looking for our gifts and I think that everybody looks for their gifts. Everyone is looking for, you know, what did, you know, God create me to do? You know, what's my gift? You know, do I even have a gift? And I just believe that everybody has a gift. You know, it may be in a different thing than someone else, but that's your gift. And that gift is going to be something that someone else may not be able to do like you. And that's the beauty of it. And so as I was able to, you know, start really young and find my gift, I found that, you know, a lot of my aspiration and my sanctuary, if I can say, it was really on the track. You know, after I had, you know, gone to school and did all the things that I needed to do, you know, going into high school, I really found that my gift was in track and field. And I fell in love with track and field. I fell in love with the stadiums that I saw from high school and then going into the different arenas later in my life in sports as an adult, you know, trickling through high school, college, and going into the pros and being sponsored by Nike. I found that it was something that God was leading me, and it was like a puzzle. It was all working together. It was all coming together. And even sometimes we can't see that. Like, I couldn't see it in the beginning, but it was all coming together. And the beauty is that if you can find your gift, early on, you know, because sometimes we wait till later and it's too late, you know, when you feel that, you know, I'm trying to give all my time to everyone else, my children, you know, if you have a family, and if you are married, you're giving time there. And then sometimes you feel like, you know, it's too late, you know, and sometimes, you know, some people wait, and just to tell you the truth, some people wait and they never invest in themselves. That's the truth of that. You have some people that do invest in themselves, some people that do find their gifts early on, regardless if it's paying or not. They want to find their gift until it opens up its, you know, the door for them to have funds. But I would say, if you can, I would say, find your gift. find your gift and let it open up doors for you. Find it early, because some people will wait, and they'll wait till later, and when it could be too late for them because they haven't invested enough time into themselves. And sometimes you need time, when you're finding your gift. And I came from a background, where I was in the church, and my grandfather was a bishop. My father was a minister, serving at the family church under his father. And I had a mother that, raised us and took care of everything. And it just seemed like everything was working, together, because I could see their lives, But I also remember that, like my grandmother on my mom's side and my grandmother on my father's side, I really saw them really, starting families, investing so much time into their families. I sometimes wondered, did they ever find their gifts? Did they really ever, did my grandmother or did my grandmothers really actually find, their gifts and what they really, aspired to do? Were they really doing what they aspired to do from their heart? And this is the same for even men today. Was our grandfathers really into their gifts? And I can say I do believe that I saw some of my grandparents, yes, in their gift. But I did see a lot of people that I came up when I was young that were not in their gifts. I think that they invested so much time into their family that sometimes they forgot about themselves. So I hope that this story, my story, will inspire you to find your gift and what God has for you right now at this moment in your life, and that you may be in a place where you can be more abundant, that you can be complete, that you can be whole, that you have nothing lacking, because you know that I'm doing everything that I ever aspired to do. And so things started to happen when I got into my gift. It was like a world that was opening up all on its own. And I would say that if you can get into your gift, you'll find out that it starts to open a world of its own. And sometimes, sometimes I believe that God is waiting for us to do it by ourselves. Yeah, that can be an eye opener, because we definitely sometimes don't want to do our gifts by ourselves. We usually kind of like, want to do it with someone else. And I've been there. I've always wanted, let me just say, sometimes when you're first starting, I'm pretty sure the Rockefellers, I'm pretty sure a lot of people that we look at today in families and people, they all started, at some point working together, but I'm pretty sure it was someone that started that vision and that dream, and people came on board. And sometimes you have to be in a place where, it's uncomfortable, where maybe, you were comfortable. Like I was comfortable in my beginnings at home. It was like, everybody's here, I'm comfortable, everything is set. But when you have to come out of that comfort zone, because you have to grow up, you have to get to a point in your life where God is saying, I need you to be the woman or the man that I need you to be. So he puts you in a place where that comfortable zone is completely just kind of slipped from under you. And you're like, oh my goodness, no, I don't like this place. You're sometimes wondering, why am I here? What am I doing? Do you even hear me? I mean, can you hear me? I'm really actually screaming. But sometimes we get into that place and we're wondering if God is still there. But actually, he's there and he's doing it. He is the one that's doing it. That's why we get so mad when we are uncomfortable, when we're in a place where it feels like, I know I'm in my gift. I know this is where God wants me to be, or I'm finding it. I'm really moving towards it, but it's not how I want it right now. And I've been there. I've been there where nothing seemed like it was working, but I was asking those questions. And I think that in any type of, phase in your life, it could be marriage, it could be being engaged, it could be having a boyfriend, girlfriend, it could be trying to find your gift. It is a place that you have to ask yourself certain questions. For example, if you're in a marriage, you have to ask yourself, does this person want to have kids? Do they want to meet my family? Do I want to meet their family? It's certain things you should be looking for. And sometimes it's certain phases in our lives that we are not ready to even look for those things. But God is saying, when you are in a place that you know that you want to be effective, you want to have a legacy, you want to have more, and you know that you need it, then he puts you in a place where you get hungry for it. And that you start asking those questions, you start asking the right questions, and that's where he wants you to be. That is the perfect place for you, because then you start to not be in that comfortable state where somebody else was mapping out the questions, somebody else was also answering the questions for you, and then you end up finding out, I'm glad you're not answering the questions for me, because I didn't want you to answer them in the first place. You get to a point in your life where it's time for you to be able to put that answer down, because no one else can map out or have a vision for your life the way you can. And they may not empathize. They may not want or desire the things that you want. They may not even take care of the special things in your life the way that you would take care of them. That's why you are depending on yourself. That's why I have a family now. That's why my family is dependent on me to answer those questions. When I think about the things that I came up in my life, grandmothers, grandfathers, instilling things in me. And I thank the Lord that I was able to have those things. I realized that I needed to take the good from that, the faith from that. I went into my gift in sports. I took the sports from what my young history and my beginnings were giving me. I took the good things from that. And now I'm in production, and I'm learning to take the good things and make sure I make it what it can be, so it can be effective. And so the people that are with me too can be effective, because you never want to get into a gift and it's not effective. It won't work for anyone. And so I thank the Lord that He's first, because then my values, my character, the bricks under me are grounded, and it's the right foundation, opposed to just building for something that will go away, and it will never benefit no one, nor will it be anything that will last. And so the life that I believe that God has given me and my family is a life that is about God. It's about Him. It's about serving. It's about when I didn't have, God did that so that I can know how it feels not to have, how it feels to be coming up, and you need to have good character. You need to make sure you're taking care of others more than yourself, because He will take care of you if you are seeking Him in His kingdom. So it's all about now. I believe now, from sports and from what my parents have taught me, I think that my life is evolving into what God has for me for Him. And I believe that I'm a God chaser. I believe that at this season in my life, from sports, and sprinting and doing all the things that I needed to do for the United States of America, now I'm able to say, I'm going to make sure that I give everything to Christ now. And I do believe that God is saying, your ladder with me shall be greater than anything you've ever done. And what I'm going to do in your life won't even compare. What I showed you that happened or could happen when you're with me, we're going to surpass all of that. And I can't wait for what God is about to do. So I pray that my life, that these inspiring stories that will come from Christ Studios and from my life and others, that it will inspire the world to be who God created them to be, and me. God bless you, and thank you for this opportunity to talk with you.